Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Wednesday, 20th of October, and it's time for another webinar. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hello, everyone, and good to see you all this morning. And I'm going to bring Laura on. So, Laura, do you want to pop on and say hello? Oh, can't hear you, Laura. Might be the mute button.
There we go. Can you hear me now? There we go.
Great stuff. Okay, so Laura is joining us again today. But what we're going to be looking at today is social media. We're going to be focusing on top 10 tips to help you write great content. So we've compiled our very best tips, our very best advice into 10, 10 tips. And we're going to show you exactly what kind of content to write, what kind of strategies to use. We've got some ideas around Instagram, Facebook. So, yeah, let's go for it. And hi, everyone. Now, I've just thought I sent an email out with the link to this webinar, and I definitely sent it to Ben. So, Ben, if you're in here, it might show up as my name. I've just realized that the link I've sent you is probably my link. So if you see Matt Wiles in the comments, in the chat there, it's actually someone else. It's not me. So, Laura, can you do me a favor and keep an eye on the chat room there, the chat box, so you can see everyone, and go ahead and type away if you want to reply to anyone within the chat. Just make sure you're muted when you type because it can be a bit loud. But Laura, I'm going to take it away. And like I say, morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I mean, it is good to be back doing these webinars. I can't deny it. It is fantastic. We did this last year for how many months? It was March, April until October, I think, September, October. So yeah, we're back doing these. And so I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to crack on and go into the social media webinar here. So let's go. Laura, you should be able to see my screen as well. Let me know if you can't. Let me know if there's any issues there. Okay. So today, it's all about social media content creation, as I said. So as you're all getting settled down, we'll be here for about 45 minutes here, but it's jam-packed. It's jam-packed with tips. And so to kick things off, we're just going to start by saying that great social media content will increase likes, it will increase followers, and increase brand awareness. And those three things are really important. And it's what so many business owners ask for help for. You know, we're getting people come to us all the time saying, how do I write great content? What do I need to do in my social media posts, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, LinkedIn, Twitter? Well, the result of great content is this, and it will help you reach more people. It will help you stay relevant as well. Laura, I'm going to put a couple of questions to you today, and obviously you're going to chip in today. It's obviously down to me to host this one this week. You did a lot last week, so I'm giving you a bit of a week off. But when I say help you stay relevant to people, what do you think I mean by helping you stay relevant to people? And whilst you answer that, I'm just going to turn my light on so there's a bit more light on me. So go ahead. What do you think I mean by stay relevant?
So to stay relevant to people, it's about making sure that you're keeping up with trends, that you know the score of what's going on around you so that people don't forget about you. So you remain like the main leader in your field. Really, that's about staying relevant to me. Just keeping on board.
And showing that you're active. Showing that you're active, and showing that you're you care about your audience, your customers or potential customers. This is what social media does. It just shows that you actually are putting effort in and care and staying on top of things. Staying relevant, staying relevant with the competition as well, up there with what the other guys are doing. But I think generally, as we all probably know as a business owner, it's important to keep your social media updated. Why? Well, because people will check your channels, your Facebook channel, your Instagram channel, your LinkedIn or Twitter. Usually Facebook or Instagram, those are the first port of call. That people will check those channels to see your business, to see what you're doing. So have a look at the last post. When was the last time you wrote a post on Facebook or Instagram? And just look at those dates, because we often find that people let them slip a little bit. It could be a few months old now. And that really can damage your brand. People lose trust and people lose credibility in your brand when they don't see you active on social media. So We have got Laura in today. Laura is specifically a content writer for websites and SEO. We learned last week a lot about SEO content writing. And we talked about how we would help you write great content on your social media channels. But don't worry, you don't have to be a great writer like Laura. You don't have to be experienced or educated in writing. I mean, Laura's gone through a lot of work and years of effort to get to where she is. But you as a business owner can do these really easy things that we're going to show you. So first things first, get yourself a scheduling app. Okay. What is a scheduling app? It is something like Hootsuite, Buffer. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about. What scheduling apps do is they allow you to post when your audience is online rather than when it's convenient to you. What do I mean by that? Well, you will be scheduling your posts in advance, okay? And so you can schedule those posts to go live at specific times of the day, specific days of the week. And what it avoids is you just posting randomly, because I've been in that position as well, admittedly. I genuinely can relate to many business owners out there, because there's so much on my plate. Sometimes in the past I've been like, hey, we need to write more posts on our social media. We're not really on top of our social media. So I've kind of taken over the social media and just like, I'm just going to write a post now, and I post it and think, this is really good post. But it's the wrong time of day. I just wrote that post when it was convenient for me that day, that time. That's something you want to avoid doing. Get smart, get organized with your social media. This sounds like a bit of a chore to a lot of business owners. I've got to get a scheduling app. I've got to plan my posts and write them in advance. No, it'll take you no more than 1 hour, potentially a month, just 1 hour a month. Ideally, if you can do that at the start of each week, that would be fantastic. But if it has to be the start of the month or the end of the month, it's fine. It's okay. Spend an hour. If you can spend more time, you're going to get better content. But spend that little bit of time each month on this scheduling app. Plan. You don't even have to plan. Just write some posts, 5 posts, and schedule those posts for specific days and times. In fact, on things like Hootsuite, it's a good one. You can even use their auto scheduler, which posts it for you at what is meant to be the best time of day and day of the week. So this will allow you to stay consistent and save you time day to day. This genuinely will save you time, and that's why we're here. We want to save you time. This will allow you to save that day-to-day time, but you can be strategic. As I said there, if you're doing it day-to-day, you're going to be rushed, and it's going to take you more time. So let's plan ahead a little bit. And like I said, the Hootsuite auto scheduling function automatically finds the best time. So you don't even have to worry about the best time. There's various bits of technology like that built into these apps, and it'll take you an hour or two to, get your head around these apps, but they are really, really useful and really nice to look at as well. Really simple, really easy to use interface. So find one. I mentioned Hootsuite. Buffer is another popular one. So
I think it's important to say as well that it's better to have more quality posts than just like you don't think that you need to post so many times per day, or it's better to have like less and more quality posts. I think personally that works best.
Absolutely, yeah, very good point actually. That's backing up the idea of just write 5 posts in a month. If you really haven't got time to be writing a post a day or post every other day, that's okay. It's okay. One good post a week would do. It would do just fine as long as it's a quality post. For example, a competition, you could have a think about that, and then schedule that for some time in the month. There is, as Laura says, quality over quantity. So that's another kind of takeaway from this, hopefully, for business owners that are watching this thinking, I haven't got time. Well, you don't have to have more than an hour or 2 a month really on this. So that was tip 1. That was our first point, was look for a scheduling piece of software like Hootsuite. Hootsuite, I think that's how you say it. Hootsuite. Number two, you got to run a contest or a giveaway. Obviously, you don't want to be doing this all the time, but you can do this, every quarter, potentially every month, Laura? I don't know. How often do you reckon we should run a contest?
I mean, yeah, the contest, I would maybe do one every couple of months, because I think if you're doing one too often, people might lose interest a little bit. So if you're keeping it not so often, it's kind of keeping that excitement there a little bit more.
Absolutely, yeah. And what you can do, guys, we're going to show you two or three ways to run a contest. The first of which is a like and or comment to win contest. So like and or comment. So let's explain what that is. I mean, first and foremost, people love free things. So that is a fact. So if you run a contest, you're going to get good engagement on this. And this is a really good way to kick off your social media engagement. You know, we're here today to help you get more engagement, more likes, more followers. And this is a proven way to do it. And we're just going to give you a couple of tips around this. So this is a like or comment to win. So what I mean by that is, you create your post. I mean, there's a bit of an image on the left here, for an example. You create your post, you put the image up of maybe of what it is you're giving away, and you're gonna write a description saying, like this post to be in with a chance to or comment on this post to win a potentially the winner will be announced tomorrow. Good luck. It's that kind of thing. So it's like or comment on this post. I hope that makes sense. Key thing is add a deadline. So in this case, I don't know if you can read the screen at the bottom left. It says the winner will be announced tomorrow. Good luck. And it says here on this particular example, it says simply like and comment on this post for a chance to win. So they've gone for like and comment. And then use hashtags. Okay, so we've talked about hashtags in the past, but make sure you're using stuff like giveaway, hashtag freebie, hashtag like to enter, comment to enter. And what that does is it helps to amplify the contest's reach. So that will then get your post reaching far wider than the audience that are just following you on social media. So that will get you found when people are looking under those hashtags on social media like Instagram, Facebook. So on this one, like and comment to win, Laura, there's another one, isn't there? And I just wanted to pull this one up before we comment on all this, but there's another one, share or retweet to enter is a good one. And I'm sure many of us have seen these sort of things before, but share or retweet. So you could pair that last one, the like and comment, with a share or retweet requirement. So you could be asking people to retweet it. Now, this does reach a lot more people. If you're asking them to share, by the way, on your Facebook and Instagram stories, so you can say to them to share on your story. Those stories only need to stay live for 24 hours, so just bear that in mind. You would have to then confirm those shares within those 24 hours. Maybe a little bit complex, that one. So let's just stick to the basics. So in terms of getting a post up, writing that post, you can do like, comment, retweet, to be in with a chance. So retweets hit more people, right, Laura?
Yeah, and I also think that tag a friend's quite a good one, because then sometimes you're automatically introducing someone who may not be already following you. And there we go. There it is.
You're absolutely right. You read my mind. That's the final big one here is get people to tag 3 friends. Now think about this, guys, is that this ripple effect that you're going to have is extraordinary, because once you get people to tag 3 friends, their friends then see that and they will then enter the competition. So people that aren't even following you will see that competition and they will then tag 3 friends, and then they will tag 3 friends, and then they will, it goes on. It's a ripple effect, isn't it? So asking people to tag 3 friends is a really effective one to reach even more people. So just to summarize, like, comment, retweet. I mean, when you're retweeting, that has a massive ripple effect as well. And then getting people to tag friends. All of these, put these together, and you've got a really powerful contest, a really powerful competition. And you could do that every couple of months. And well, there you go. That's one big post that you could be doing every couple of months. What can you give away? Well, give away. I mean, you could give anything from a smart speaker that you maybe get for £100, or half an hour free consultation, or maybe you're a solicitor and you give an hour away, you know, or I don't know, maybe you're a builder and you're going to give some advice away, or you're going to do a little bit of tweaking on someone's driveway. I don't know, you know, you could do anything. Just buy something, get something from the supermarket, from Argos or whatever it is, and give it away. It's such a good way to get more people involved. And Laura, is there anything, you know, if you're thinking about a small business owner, Laura, some of our own customers varied in what they do, from dentists to plumbers to hotels, etc. What kind of things would you advise them to give away? Just what I'm saying, like iPads or something cheaper, you know, things like that.
Yeah, I think yeah, like you're saying, if there's a part of your service that you can give away, then that's also ideal as well. Then it gives them a free taste, and then again, then it becomes word of mouth. So then it becomes like physical marketing, because someone's experienced it, and it just continues in that way. So social media, you feel like you're giving something away for free, but it could end up being like continuing on because someone's got good things to say about you.
That's absolutely it. And yeah, if you can give away something in your own service or products, that's even better. How much is the value of this? Well, we've tested this with some of our clients, and the value of this is thousands of pounds worth in terms of return. So if you're spending £100 for something, then just do it, because it can be really, really valuable. Another thing we wanted to touch on, so tip number 3, our advice would be to use Instagram to ask a question. And this is quite an interesting one. I've seen this a lot as well. And this is maybe a bit alien, a bit new to a lot of people watching this, but it could be like an ask me anything moment. And so what you're doing is, on your Instagram story or even on Facebook, what you can do is you can use this ask me a question. So you can use the Instagram question stickers to do this. It's a good way of doing this. So Laurie, I want to get your advice on this one. Just walk us through what you see, talk us through what you've seen in the past. But on this one, what I've seen myself is people, you can focus, it's a good chance to focus on a specific topic. So questions about one of your products, questions about how you became a business owner, how did you do it all? What was your background? So every Saturday I see a lady who owns it's like a design shop, selling furniture and bits and bobs for the home. I see her walking to work in Leeds, and then she puts this question sticker on her Instagram story, and it's just, it's question time basically. And she asks, I can't remember. She said, "Ask me anything." She's what she's putting on there, and basically get loads of questions back from the audience, and then she can go back and answer those within her stories. I just see that being really effective, and it really works well for her. And I've seen many people use this feature. It gets loads of interactivity. Laura, I'm struggling with this one. You're the expert on this one.
I think people are interested in people. That's the reason why we follow people on Instagram. It's the reason people have friends on Facebook, and people are interested in how people got there. Like, this is an example of someone who I follow personally, and they lost their job during COVID, and they've then set up a baking business. They didn't do anything to do with that beforehand. They've now got over 41,000 followers, and that's just happened since COVID.
Wow.
And that's from she's constantly posting. She'll even post things of a dog. She'll be like, "This is what I'm doing today. This is my new oven. This is my new ingredients." Like, she's literally just like showing people her world. And I've become, I'm not even interested in baking, and I've managed to follow her, and I've been looking at her content and be interested in when she's getting a new pink oven fitted, and when she's getting new, and she's making it all very branded, and it's all really interesting, and everything's pretty, and it just makes you want to look at it, and it makes you want to be interested in it. So
yeah, I can see on this example, she's got ask questions. She's used the question sticky function on Instagram, and someone's written, sorry, do you do boxes of rocky roads? It's quite hard to read this. So, do you do boxes of rocky roads? So yeah, she's put a thing up saying, "Ask me anything," and then what she'll do, and what I've seen so many people do, is what they'll do is they'll write the answer on the story. So Laura, she's got the question on this, now she's written the answer to that in the story, right?
Yeah, and then she's also wanting feedback from the rest of her followers, like, yes, do we want this? No, do we not want this? And then she can use that moving forward. And if more people are saying yes, then that's something she's going to implement. And it's just keeping everyone happy constantly. I've seen a lot of people talking back as well. So people will actually record themselves answering the questions, which I think is quite a personal way of doing it as well.
Right.
That
Okay.
works
So,
quite well.
so yeah, I mean, especially, yeah, she's asking a question back as well. So, yeah, we used to do boxes, Rocky Road boxes, took them off the menu, but would you guys like to see them back on? And then she's put yes or no, basically, is another question on there. It's that interactivity, isn't it? It is that interactivity. And you don't need 40,000 followers to do this. You've got to start somewhere. This Ask Me Anything thing is really, really popular now. Now, these are really nicely designed graphics that you're seeing here. The one before was just a photo. Just bear that in mind. It's just a photo. So I don't know if you're let's take Ben reached out to me this week. Ben from Sparta Security. So, you know, maybe the type of question you could ask would be surrounding like safety and things like that. So you could just take a photo, and you could even do like a bit of a quiz, couldn't you? You could take 2 photos and say, you know, which one, which one looks safer to you, or would you feel, would you want security in this environment? I don't know. I'm just thinking, you know, out of the box here, but you could definitely put just A or B question in here into your Instagram stories. It gets really good engagement. People love to answer stuff like this. So the Ask Me Anything. So you can ask questions. Oh, sorry. There we go. Just go back there. You can ask questions and you can put A or B, or you can use the question sticker box, which was the Ask Me Anything, ask me a question. And then what people can do is they can type, so just to go back to that screenshot there, if they're on Instagram, they can literally type something on your story. So they see your story on their screen. It's got this box. They can type something into that box like, hey, Ben, when did you start up Sparta Security? For example, you know, there's lots of different business owners out there, but you know, you can put this out there and get interaction from the audience. So yeah, really, really useful, really gets good interaction, and will build your followers as well. That really will get great engagement. And then what we'd recommend for tip number 4 would be to team up. Now, I didn't mention this last year, actually, in one of our webinars, but teaming up with another local business builds a lot of trust, actually, and it's really easy to do, and all you need to do is just think about who you'd like to team up with, and be sure to check out their brand carefully, though. You know, are they standing for the right values that similar values that you stand for? Are they trustworthy? Set perimeters as well. But what this does is this builds really good brand affinity. So do pick carefully. So, you know, you could be a florist, and you might want to team up with a wedding photographer, and you want to, you could do like a Takeover Tuesday thing, or you just want to do a campaign just where you're teaming up and you're working alongside each other via social media. So set perimeters as well. So here's what you can and can't do. Here's what I want to do with you. Here, you know, I don't want to go this far, but I'm happy to share, you know, some of my knowledge around the products, whatever those perimeters are. Make sure you just set those 5-10 different points before you get cracking. But teaming up with a local business builds so much trust amongst your community, amongst your followers. Laura, have you seen any examples? Do you want to add anything to this one?
Yeah, I've seen a hotel brand, even with I think they were a fashion brand. They were in walking boots. So the hotel was in the perimeter where people could go walking, and then they teamed up with someone who sold walking boots, and it's just finding something that people would be interested in, who follows you. So yeah, that can work really well.
Wow, yeah, that's a bit of a different one I hadn't thought. And I'm using, I used Ben before because it is a security company. It's one of those niche businesses. We don't deal with a lot of security companies. We have a few clients that we do, but that's quite a niche one. And I'm picking them out intentionally because it works for every type of business, even something as, quite niche like security. And I can easily think of things that a security company could, who they could team up with in the local area. And I'm sure they have already, but, there's really good ways of doing this on social media. If you're a skincare clinic, a hotel, like Laura says, there's so many different opportunities. So this is What we're doing here, first of all, is giving you post ideas. These are ideas for your posts. And hopefully this is inspiring you a little bit, or you can maybe just take, like I say, every week, just take one thing away and we'll be over the moon. But just trying to inspire you as to, what you can do each month to write posts. And you can literally take these 10 points and put them into your schedule each month and just rinse and repeat, just repeat, and it will work. Even if you did the ask a question thing over and over and every day, it really does work. I've seen some examples, as well as, like what Laura gave. What this company is doing here is they're doing a how-to video. So tip number 5 is a how-to tutorial. Share your expertise, give value to your followers. And what that does, it cements your status as a true pro in your field. It's that trust authority factor. So this really will help you become, trusted in your field. And you want to be known basically on social media. You want to be known for being the expert at that one thing. Right, and you see it quite often in bakery, which Laura was talking before about, where you see someone being the donut, company, or the brownie, there's experts in brownies or rocky roads, whatever it may be. But this goes into, it goes across all different fields. So in terms of this company here, this is a cleaning company, and they're actually cleaning a washing machine. Who knew we had to clean washing machines, right? Yeah, it's a joke, obviously. But, this is a good way of getting people talking. And people will comment things like, I didn't realize we had to clean washing machines, things like that. So it adds value. It, like I say, cements your status as a true pro, and trust is won if you do this. So how-to tutorials, really easy to do as well, guys. Just get your phone out. Don't be afraid. Just whack the camera on. Just get the camera on. Get focusing on a product or service that you're doing, and just start talking. Who cares what you sound like? I was never meant to be great at webinars. I don't even know how I've got into this, but who cares? Get your video out, start recording, and just start talking about how you're doing it. By the way, I don't think I'm great at webinars. That's my point. So make sure you get that video out and do some how-to tutorials. We have seen real-life examples of this massively increasing engagement on social media.
Carpet cleaning ones are really popular, like seeing the carpet before and after and what they can do. That they're really popular ones.
That's a really good point, actually. The before and after is another point to make there. Yeah, you're right. In terms of, like you say, you could be a carpet cleaner, you could be a builder even. And it could just be a speedy video of, what they call, when it's like really quick video. I can't remember the terminology, but you could do like before to after, and you could record that over the few days, and you could even talk about how you did it. And it just shows expertise, doesn't it? Imagine if I recorded one of our designers building a website over the week. It would really show you exactly how intricate it gets. There's all sorts of coding and development, and build it from scratch. And that would just make people go, bloody hell, now I know what I'm paying for when we're building, when it comes to web design. And it builds trust, it builds credibility. So yeah, before and after, definitely. And point number 6, as I look at this, it's 12:30. We're on good time here. So tip number 6 is put the customer in the spotlight. It's essential. Put your customer in the spotlight and showcase your product. Because what this does is it does showcase your product, but it avoids being too salesy. So you don't want to talk about your products and services all the time, especially if you are selling products. But if you're a service-led business, then you don't want to be talking about yourself all the time or showcasing you. You want to put a customer in the spotlight. So I mentioned about maybe a builder. If you're a builder or an electrician or a joiner, put your customers' photos in the spotlight, right? Get your customer to take a photo, put them in the spotlight, and make them feel special. Laura, you've seen a lot of this as well. You mentioned this one to me earlier, and I know this is a big one. It's really, really powerful. Have you got anything you want to add to this one? Because putting someone in the spotlight helps build a lot of trust without being salesy as well.
Yeah, I know a girl, and she makes pots from scratch, and she makes just all things for home, like interiors, and she gets loads of people like love taking pictures of the houses now and kind of showing off that interior side. Like loads of people have house accounts and things, so she like really encourages people. So she's basically doing that from, I think she does it in a garage, but she's not going to get those pictures that everyone else can create for us. So she's giving out the service. People are buying from her, and then they're putting it in their house, taking a picture, putting it on Instagram, tagging her in it. Then she puts it on her Instagram, and it's just, and everyone can. So she's getting basically free marketing, really. Someone's got a beautiful house that something's shown in, and she's just like, there you go, this is what I've created, and this is what it could look like.
Yeah,
And I just think it works really well.
Yeah, exactly. But it can be so many different, it could be someone staying at a hotel. It could be someone with a new kitchen, house related, like you say, or it could be a car. If you're a used car dealer here, we get a lot of those guys in watching the recordings, bizarrely. And you could get your customers to take those pictures and share those pictures, and there's tons of examples. Let's use the security, Ben, again. You could have one of your clients with you at that event or at that place where you're doing that security, for example, and get them to take a photo. There's just tons and tons of opportunities to put the customer in the spotlight. So get your customers in the spotlight, and share their images and their posts.
Matt, sorry to interrupt you, but I've just got a question from Mary, and she's just said, how do you post your video on Instagram?
How do you post your video on Instagram? Well, it depends on what. It's actually quite easy to do that. I don't know if there's more to that, though. I wonder if Mary's finding something specific a bit problematic. But in terms of posting a video, well, first things first, what I'd do is get the video done. So get a video. And maybe we could, Laura, maybe, Mary gives us a call afterwards. I've got the number at the end of this, actually. You can just take 5 minutes, wouldn't it? You could just maybe walk Mary through posting that on her Instagram.
Absolutely.
But it's really easy to do. It's so easy. It is literally just you go to your post option, and then you just want to select the video, and bam, there you go. But maybe we could pick that up with Mary separately if there's any technical issues that she's facing. So Mary, give us a call, and our team will put you through to Laura after this. But yeah, it is really quite straightforward. So hopefully we'll get you sorted there. Do interrupt, Laura, if there's any other questions, but I just want to move on to tip number 7. This is quite an important one, but this is one of those ones that I can't see many business owners being interested in this one. But the reason why I've put this in here, and the reason why I say that, is because there's lots of things happening in terms of trends. So last week or two, there was this red flag trend, which I'll come back to in a second. But for busy business owners, sometimes they're just, most of us ignore these trends, really. We just laugh at them and don't really pick up on them. But if you do keep an eye out for these types of things, these types of trends, and you do jump on the bandwagon slightly with this, you will, the impact it can have is quite impressive, actually. So even though it's a bit cringeworthy, I would say, just try to look out for stuff like this, because it's the popularity of it in the moment which you want to be jumping on. And the other week there was this, people were writing tweets and posts, and in those tweets they would put a load of red flags. And for example, someone's saying here, pineapple does not belong on pizza. If someone says pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, that's a red flag. That's a warning, apparently. Like, that person's not thinking straight. Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. So but what we've seen is clever business owners jump on this. And, off the top of my head, you could write something like, I haven't decorated my home in 7 years. I don't know, whatever. Red flag, you should be decorating your home every 3 years. That kind, so a decorator will probably jump on it and pick our comment out and put a load of red flags. So jump on trends, look out for trends. If you see something getting popular, all you need to do is go to Twitter and look at what's trending on Twitter. Just keep an eye out for it. Keep an eye out. But it's one of those little silly things. We just added it in there. I just want to move on to, make sure you get a behind the scenes post going as well. So do that every month. Really easy one to do. It's really, really easy. Just you at work, or a guided tour, or meet the team, whatever it is. Just a behind the scenes kind of post, whether it's a video or photo. It's just really easy to do. It really is easy to do. And a lot of people forget to do this, but it builds a lot of trust. And guys, trust brings inquiries and bookings. That is, for me, right at the top of everything. Everything we do here, everything we're trying to teach everyone and show everyone, it's all to build trust, ultimately. Whether you're on the first page of Google, whether you've got a really fancy GMB, Google My Business listing, or your social media is looking great, or you're posting a lot, or you've got a brand new website, ultimately it leads to trust, which is right at the top of that pyramid. And the more trust you've got, the more bookings you will get. It comes down to that. So stuff like this builds trust, and that's what you want to be doing. Okay, tip number 9 is ask for advice. Well, your audience loves to give advice. People love to share what they know. Whoops, there we go. People love to share what they know. So ask them for advice. You can do this again on Facebook, on Instagram, anything really. You can just ask for advice. Laura, have you got any kind of examples of that off the top of your head? Putting you on the spot. Is Laura there? Ooh, let's just. Oh, Laura's there.
Have you got me? Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I went off there. So in terms of asking for advice, I think sometimes. No, I'm.
You go on
lost.
the spot. I put you on the spot. Yeah, I put you on the spot. So what I'm in terms of asking people, like, what should they do, recommendations for lunch even, and I was just thinking you've probably seen more of this than me, maybe on Instagram, but just like, hey, what should I do, where should I go? So I saw
I see what you're saying. So asking for advice, even if it's nothing to do with your business or service. So where could I go to do this, or where can I go and do this?
I see it all the time. I see business owners, small business owners doing this a lot, where it's completely irrelevant to what they sell or what they do. And it was, I'm going down to London this weekend for a trip. Any recommendations to where to go? And that has nothing to do with the business. She's going on a trip to London. That kind of stuff gets a lot of engagement. People love to share what they know. So if someone asked me, I'm going up to Leeds, which is the nearest city to me, where should I go for a good burger? Hey, I hope you slap and pickle Leeds straight away. There's where you want to be going for a good burger. Yes, that's what it's called, slap and pickle. So go to Leeds and get a burger from there. Beautiful. That's, I'd love to give that advice to someone I don't even know. So ask your audience on stuff that isn't relevant to your business. Hey, I'm looking for a new paint to decorate my living room. Anyone got any good recommendations? You'll get loads of ideas. So once a month, once a week, do this every day, every other day if you want. This is the stuff that you need to be doing. Sorry, Laura, sorry for putting you on it. So you can tell, guys, we don't prep these things at all. We're diving straight into these webinars. It's sorry, Laura. Evidence that we have so much work to do. We're just diving into these webinars. Okay, so last but not least, and I have got some extra special tips after this, actually, some extra special bonus content, but brag about reviews as well. So most of you have good reviews. When was the last time you bragged about those reviews? So share the good stories. Create a graphic like this, what you're seeing here. All this is a photo with some text of the reviews. That's pretty easy to do. There's a piece of software you can use to do this kind of stuff, these graphics. It's free, it's really easy to use, and it's been made intentionally for small business owners like you. So if you want to create a graphic in seconds, then I'm not going to put Laura on the spot, but the name of it, Laura, you know what I'm trying to say here. Let me just pull it up. Is it Canva?
Canva, yeah. Canva's got loads of different graphics for free. Yeah, and you can either make, like you say, you can make social media posts. They even have it like specific for Facebook posts. You can even create logo things on there as well if you were.
Exactly. So all I've done here is clicked on social media, and it's really easy to use. I clicked on the social media icon on the homepage, and it's given me the option as to what kind of post I want to do. Hey, let's say I want to do one of these stories that we've been talking about today. So I'm going to go click story. We don't need to learn it. We'll just guess. Okay, so all we do, skip to. It gives you a really nice, easy to use tool, and you've got all these different options here. Let's do this. There we go, 50% off. Well, I want to do 25% off. 25% off everything. Code. Can you see that, guys? I've just changed it. 24 hours. Let's do 48 hours. Code. Use that code. There you go. And it's as simple as that. And now you have a really well-designed Instagram story, and you can choose any of their templates. So it's just giving me all these tips here and making me sign up. So you do just need to sign in. Obviously they want your email address, but so you just sign in. It's completely free, and you can start editing these really quickly, and there's absolutely tons of them to choose from.
They have some really good seasonal stuff as well. So like if you wanted something for a particular season or a particular like holiday or event, they have really good ones for those as well.
Yeah, it's really, really easy, and everything from, like I say, Facebook posts to Instagram stories. It's all built to the right size, to the right dimensions. So this one here looks like a good one. It looks kind of like the one that we would put. I don't know, web design from 199. There you go. Special offer. I'm just making this up. That's too cheap. No one should do web design for 199. But and I'm just putting InfoServe. There we go, and there we go. I've created a Facebook post, and then I can add that to my page. You can just add it to. You can add different slides as well, different elements and slides. Really nice and easy to use, and then you can just download that and stick it on your Facebook page. You can just download it, you see, as a image, and then you just pop that on. Really nice and easy to use. So that's Canva, and that's allowing you to create those graphics that I just mentioned there. Okay. The fans are going wild here on the computer, so maybe it's slowing down, but hopefully it might be a bit blurry right now, because I think when I went on Canva, it started to eat my computer GPU. Okay, some extra bonus tips, because we have got time, and Laura and I wanted to give you some extra little bonus tips, and this is centered around actual content writing, so the words that you write on your posts, because we've given you post ideas, but we also just wanted to touch on how to write the post. And we were thinking about this all the way from last week, and we were thinking, like, how can we help everyone write the text in the post? And you know what? There's not much to say, really. There's actually not that much to say, because I think last week we were thinking, we need to write essays, we need to write loads of words we're writing on these posts, but just keep it simple and avoid this kind of pushy sales language. This is one of our tips here for actually how you write the content. Just, for example, this pushy language that people use. So change out some of the words. Like, don't use buy now or shop here. Change that to things like don't miss out. Don't miss out is less salesy. It's not quite as pushy. Say you more instead of us. So talk about your audience. So when you're when you're writing your posts and the language that you use the word you instead of us. So what do you? I don't. That's not a great example, is it, Laura? But anything you want to add to that? Because I think that just means that this is all about the audience. It's not about you as a business. It's about the audience.
Yeah, I think like people can get a bit like turned off if people are constantly saying like, this is what we do, and we do this and we do that, and this is and also they're talking about the swap buy now shop here. Like Facebook is becoming really accustomed to like find in this language, like an algorithms as well. So it can detect the over promotional language, and it doesn't like it. So what you need to do is like make it sound as if you're caring for the customer, which I know you do anyway. So you're making it like, don't miss out on this, making it more about their gain rather than your gain. And I think that's like a really important point to make.
Definitely, yeah. And as Laura rightly points out, this little point she added here is actually that Facebook's algorithm, as she said, does detect this stuff now. So be careful. So that engagement, the reach will drop if you're using those kind of words, those kind of pushy sales words. So something to bear in mind. And then just continuing from that, in terms of content writing, just keep it snappy and simple. Like I say, keep it minimal. So really important one here. Talk as if use words and talk as if you're if a 10-year-old could understand it, is what I'm trying to say. Make sure, like I say, a 10-year-old child could understand the post, the words that you're writing. Another little tip is, rather than you're going to want to, go for things like you want to. So just reduce the words, fewer words. So I don't know, you're going to want to click this link, use you want to instead. Just fewer words, basically. So write your post and then take time just to read it back and remove words. And it's a really quite tricky task to do, actually, when we write emails or when we write marketing material. The secret is to remove words, and Apple do it really, really well. If you read their content on their website, minimalist, it's simple. It's almost like it's got words like to, if, they've kind of taken all those kind of words out, and so always reread it and just remove as many words as you can, as long as it makes sense, of course. But keep it short and simple and easy to read. Like I say, so a 10-year-old can understand. That is really important, that last comment there. If for example, 10-year-old can't understand what you're saying, then your marketing message, your message will get lost, okay? Soon as you use jargon or words that a child can't understand, then it's getting lost. Now, my tip there would be, have a look at next time you see an advert on TV or on the internet, just look at the way some of the big brands write their content and just take note of how they're wording their that one sentence, that one line. You'll see it's very simple. It's basic language, simple words. I mean, Laura, you're rarely going to see words that people don't understand. It's always words, isn't it? That the 10-year-old would understand, right?
I think the average reading age of like the general public is around 12 years old, like for everyone. So it's quite surprising, but it's also it can be believable. So you just literally need to be catering for everyone.
Wow. The average reading age, 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay. So that, and so basically what Laura's saying is, it has to cater for everyone. And you've got to bear that in mind. So just keep it simple. Keep it simple. It's one of those difficult things to do, but strip it back. Okay. So if you do, one last headings, bullet points, lists. We mentioned this last week. Sorry, just at the end there, it says headings, bullet points. Always crucial for when you're writing content. Remember, don't write big blocks of content. But we mentioned this a lot last week, and it all kind of bleeds into what we're talking about this week. But bullet points, lists, headings, really important. And we wanted to just say this because I think some of this stuff today, it is one of those kind of things that some people don't want to attempt themselves or need more help with. So if you do need help, just give us a shout. The details are on the screen there. Just pick up the phone. Someone can speak to you for 5-10 minutes and give you a bit of advice. Or check out the webinar page on our website. So that's if you need any help with social media, we can give a few minutes here and there. It's not a problem. So in terms of, I hope that's been useful for everyone today. And if you have any questions, just going to kind of kick around here for another minute or two. And if there's any questions, just let me know. I'm going to dive into the chat. reduced the questions in there, but there might be the odd one question. But also, there's a lot of people watching this on recording. So, like I say, give us a shout if you need any help, or if anyone would like me to have a look at something now before we end. Maybe look at your social media, have a look at your website again. Just shout out in the comments in the chat now. We've got a couple of minutes left. So I'm gonna just pause there for a second. Laura, is there anything you want to add then before we go into anything else here?
Yeah, it was just another little point on when you post an Instagram content. You can post several images with words on, which people can scroll through with their fingers rather than looking at the text underneath. I think a lot of people try and bulk a lot of text into the underneath the image. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. And then, but if you put them on the image and then you can scroll through, like using something like Canva and putting the words on, then people can just quickly go through it rather than reading the text underneath. I think that works really well. So you can put 4 or 5 images all next to each other, all with the same background, and then just have the content on, and then you can just flick through those rather than putting it underneath.
Yeah, definitely. So you can have 4 or 5 tiles, but so on Instagram and Facebook, you can flick through and just use some big, simple words. I mean, like what you can see here on the screen. Just use a tile, an image for 3 or 4, 3 or 4 of those, and write the things on there if you want. Rather than, like Laura said, rather than having it in text below an image. So yeah, use Canva to create those 4 or 5 images, and then you can quickly drop that onto Hootsuite, and it's all done. You're done for the week or the month. But keeping on top of this will really, really help your business grow. Okay, so just whilst I go into stop sharing my screen there. Thanks, Jen. There's some Instagram help that's been put up there. Okay, good. It looks like everyone's okay. I mean, like I say, we get a ton of people watching this back. So if you do want any help, just give us a call or jump onto our website, drop us a message. But we'll leave it there because it's 5 to 12, and it's been a good one. Hopefully, you've taken away a couple of good points there today. Laura, thank you so much for your help. Ben, I think it's Ben. Is there a link so I can share with us? Yeah, Ben, love to. If you can share infoserve.com/webinar, if that's what you're meaning. So it's infoserve.com/webinar, and get some, share that with your friends. Guys, we'd love it if you could share that link with other business owners. We'd absolutely really appreciate that. And we're not looking for anything in return. It's just helping us out, and it gives us a boost as well. So it inspires us to want to continue these webinars and explore these kind of different topics each week. So if you can share that link, www.infoserve.com/webinar, with any people any business owners, we'd really, really appreciate that. Okay, one last question. So should the words you use be the words that you target your audience with, i.e. scientific language for scientists? That's it. That's an interesting question, because what Jen's asking there, should you use kind of scientific language if you're targeting scientists, which is quite a rare scenario for it. But yeah, of course, you kind of want some element of that in your post, because you need to look like you know what you're talking about. When you do these how-to videos, when you're showing people things like that, you are inevitably going to use that kind of language. But you also want to reach a wider audience as well. What if you're in that vertical, in that industry, but you want new people, young people to start getting interested in what you do? Then you still should be using basic English, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I say, the biggest brands in the world use really basic English. They don't mess around with their words. They don't use words that people don't understand. It's always talking for 10 or 12-year-old. And so have a look, Jen, at some of the biggest brands in the world. Even some, even if you're learning languages, I don't know, even, brands that are really targeting a specific audience, the language will always be understandable and written for 12-year-olds. Not literally, obviously, it's not, but it's for, as Laura said, the reading age. What was the phrase Laura used earlier?
Yeah, I think it's like for the general public of the whole. of England is around 12 years old. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, brilliant. Okay, well, thank you again, Laura. You've been a big help today. We're working on next week's webinar already. I can't share that with you because we've got a lot of stuff. I'm actually going to be creating a video today, maybe tomorrow, for new business owners. So anyone that's starting a business, I'm going to give you top 10 tips. Maybe it'll be 5 to 10 tips. And what it'll be is showing you exactly what you need to do as a new business owner, what you need to set up, what you need to make sure you've got in place for when you start up a business. So I'm going to create a video. I'm going to put that on the webinar link at the top there, /webinar. And so if you've got any people that are starting up a business, that one will be really handy for them. So we'll be giving some really big critical tips, similar to what we did at the start of last year with the webinars. So thanks again, guys. And we'll see you next week at 11 a.m. I'm looking forward to it already. Have a lovely week. Have a lovely day. And see you all soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.